Okay, here we go. I think everything's working fine. All right, so I saw Rogue One today. Today's Friday, and I don't even have time to do this actually. I'm getting ready. I'm cleaning the house, getting ready for a big geek party on Sunday. But I'm going to talk about it anyway because I got to get it out of my system. You ever see a movie that you want to talk about it, but you don't want to talk about it because you keep thinking if you say too much about it, it'll take the magic away. And then I also want to see it like 5, 6, 7 more times. And I keep thinking if I overanalyze this movie, it's going to take the magic away. And there are magical moments in this movie. Hopefully, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start probably the first 5 minutes of this. No spoilers. I'm just going to tell you, go see it. Go see it because you like movies that are hopeful. You like movies that are honest. You like movies that are well made. You like movies that... See, I'm not even saying anything Star Wars. It is a great Star Wars movie. To me, I wrote this on Facebook. To me, it is the most well-produced Star Wars movie. Probably up there with Empire Strikes Back. Just in terms of the technical aspects of it, the script is fantastic. There's a lot of detail in it. And there's honesty in it, and there's a little bit of fan service, but it's more coincidental fan service. So it's not like, oh, look at me, But I think if you're a Star Wars fan, and if you're a combination of Star Wars fan and a war film buff, if you like war movies, like the old style war movies, like Battle of the Bulge, Bridget Remagen, The Longest Day, The Dirty Dozen, what else? The Blue Max, those type war movies where there's a certain simplicity to it, and it was single focus. There's a mission, and you have to put the elements together to go on this mission, and then you go on the mission, and then you either win or you lose, right? So this is that movie. It's very much, there's a simplicity to it. It's very similar to A New Hope, the simplicity, because when The Empire Strikes Back happened, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. You know what the thing is with Empire Strikes Back, as novel as it was, the Han and Leia side story, the subplot, their relationship, it was perfect for The Empire Strikes Back. But in terms of this movie, it had no place in it. This is more A New Hope type, simple story. There's good guys and the bad guys. The bad guys have a big weapon. You got to destroy it. So all that being said, this movie transcends into something that I've never seen in a Star Wars movie ever. I don't even want to say it. Okay, very, very tiny hint. If you saw the J.J. Abrams Star Trek, the very first Star Trek by J.J. Abrams, the first scene with, is it George Kirk? James T. Kirk's dad. That beautiful first act in Star Trek, the J.J. Abrams Star Trek. There's a moment in this movie where you feel that. Another weird movie that I'm comparing this with is Titanic, with DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. There's also a moment, and I can't even tell you what part of the movie, but okay, it's still non-spoiler. If you need to go to the bathroom, go before the last hour begins. Like, I think the movies are at 2 hours 15 minutes, 2 hours 18 minutes. Go after the first hour if you have to go, because once that last hour begins, you're not going to want to leave your seat. You're going to miss stuff. You're going to kick yourself for leaving your seat. So go take your bathroom break. Go get your popcorn or whatever, refills. Do it before the last hour starts, okay? Okay, no, so let's see, what else? What else? Violence. My cousin just messaged me on Facebook. He heard it was too violent for kids, and my recommendation is if your kids are able to watch The Empire Strikes Back with the Wampa scene, with Luke and Vader on Bespin, with that gruesome, just brutal lightsaber fight, Luke losing his hand. If your kids can sit through that, they will have no problem watching Rogue One. So don't worry about that. There's I'm trying to remember. There's no blood spatter, and the only blood you see is after they've gone into a fight, and there's like scabs, but nobody is like spitting out blood or throwing up or anything. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. That's PG-13. Way more violent and icky stuff than Rogue One. So take the kids. Another comparison, the first Rocky movie. Okay, something I've had a long week, folks. So the first hour of this movie, I was so relaxed in my seat. I didn't fall asleep, but I really wanted to. But there was enough exposition. There was a lot of exposition. They gotta explain all this stuff to you. And so it's very similar to like a British war movie, where the first part is they're talking about the logistics and who's got the what, and trying to get permissions from the bosses to do something here, and then there's a little bit of action, a little bit of action, a little bit of action, and then the big action happens. So that's how, just like any other war movie, right? So what else? Should I go into the semi-spoilery now? Okay, semi-spoilery. So go see the movie. Don't watch this until you see the movie. This is the second half of this review. So a little bit. I was trying to fight back tears, but I don't know if I was just tired, or it's been a long week, or I was just so happy that they had elements like this in a Star Wars movie. I don't remember a Star Wars movie ever taking it to this level. I swear, they took it to another level. Star Wars is now a different franchise because of this movie. It's gone off. It's like it's when they made the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where the Marvel superheroes are like superheroes and we do superhero stuff, and then Captain America throws that political thriller element into it, and then all of a sudden it's not just a superhero movie, it's an acting movie, it's a intrigue, and it's like a political thinking person movie. This just elevated Star Wars to another level. I think this movie will allow the other Star Wars stories, the anthology movies, the non-saga movies, to just do whatever they want, and this is going to be fantastic. Okay, spoilery. Let me go talk about the parts that I sort of didn't like first, because there was so very little. Okay, the beginning, a lot of people are talking about there's no crawl. Everybody knows there's no opening crawl, and it was kind of sudden and not shocking, but it's like, is that it? So get over it. Just it's almost, which is, I keep thinking is like they put 99% of their focus on the actual meat of the story, and hardly anything regarding the beginning, the very beginning, because as soon as the beginning happens, it becomes like top 8 notch class acting, excellent, it's almost Shakespearean, the quality of acting, because there's a lot of British actors, and you got Forrest Whitaker. It's Forrest freaking Whitaker, right? So, and then I sort of have a gripe with the very, very ending. And I'm not going to tell you. I told you, semi-spoilery. The very, very ending, they talk about the Uncanny Valley. So look it up. I'm not going to tell you here, but look up Uncanny Valley after you see the movie, and you'll know what I'm talking about. It happens with 2 different aspects of this movie, that Uncanny Valley. And I wish they had done a better job you know what? I keep thinking what they're going to do with the home video version. They're going to have a revised version where maybe they clean up that uncanny valley part. But that's all I'm going to say. All right, so the scenes that just got to me, the Jin Urso hologram scene. That's all I'm going to say. That in itself is worth like I don't know if they could have like Oscar contending for moments in movies, because that one, her reacting to a hologram, that's where you can tell Felicity Jones could stand up to Eddie Redmayne in A Theory of Everything. She is that good an actress, and I'm not gonna say why. It's like, I wish the Star Wars universe, could have. Well, you'll know what I'm talking about. You're gonna after this movie, you're gonna go, oh, I wish, and I don't know if you're gonna get it. Let me see. Compare the battles to the Return of the Jedi battle. The Return of the Jedi battle had more elements, more ships, more blah 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 blah. This movie has better quality, better amazements. Do you remember Revenge of the Sith, the very beginning of that movie? How it was like acrobatics and the camera did all this stuff. So you mix the beginning battle sequence of Revenge of the Sith to the main battle, the battle over Endor of Return of the Jedi, and you get the battle in Rogue One. Okay, so Donnie Yen, he again, the spirituality, the whole Jedi thing. Oh my goodness! Oh, be still my heart. They honored the whole Jedi thing. They brought it another aspect. I can't say anything. I don't want to say. I don't want to spoil it for you. Even if you saw it already, I don't. But you know what I'm talking about if you saw the movie already. There's another aspect to the Jedi mythology, spirituality, religion, philosophy, or whatever you want to call it, and they brought that in there. And there's also the redemption part, and not just the Jedi part. There's also redemption with non-Jedi people, just human beings. I wrote on Facebook as soon as I was done with them. As soon as I finished the movie, I said, "This movie is a love story, but not in a traditional sense. It's a love story to humanity as a whole, to good people, to hope, and everything." And this movie is like the primer to A New Hope. You can almost put both movies together and have one movie, and one sets up the next movie. The Rogue One sets up A New Hope. K2SO. People are saying K2SO, wonderful, wonderful. His, I can say it's semi-spoilery. Sacrifice is, to me, the main theme of this whole movie. Sacrifice, I counted, at least five different moments of sacrifice that will make you go, oh my God. It's like I am, it's, again, transcendent of Star Wars. You can talk about sacrifice, or you can show sacrifice, or you can talk about it and show it and make people feel the sacrifice. And this movie did it in a battlefield. So, what else? Gorgeous movie. Some scenes were like you think the Gareth Edwards, the director, got the best cinematographer, which he did. He got the cinematographer from Zero Dark 30, with the best set decoration, with the best editing, with the best color correction person, with the best sound person. There are scenes in here, not just battle scenes, but just scenes that are just perfect. You can't get more beautiful, more technically perfect than it. And then you combine that with an honest, genuine, tight script. And I can't believe they did the reshoots. That was such a big story. Totally didn't notice it. What else? The more solidly cinematic than The Force Awakens, But The Force Awakens is more fun and funny. Now, The Force Awakens to me is like a comedy. The Force Awakens has more of an Ant-Man type levity to it because it focuses more on the characters. The Rogue One is more on the story itself, and then the characters serve the story. There are small subplots, but they all serve the greater story. And you really get to learn a lot about the Rebel Alliance, and the more the machinations of the Rebel Alliance, what they're about, how much struggle they've gone through. Cassian Andor, Diego Luna's character. Oh my God, the conflict, the grief, the feeling of lost, feeling of I need to find a purpose for my mission. How do we defeat this unbeatable thing? This movie has everything. It's like a Rocky movie. It reminds me of that. One aspect of it. A Rocky movie, the first part is Stallone, Rocky Balboa, being quiet, being the underdog, quiet, training, a lot of talking. And then you get the fighting stuff happens, and then it just builds and builds and builds. So that's Rogue One. I'm gonna finish with a quote, one of my favorite quotes. There's a bunch of great quotes in this movie by the whole cast, but this one made me weepy because Jyn Erso, and it's in the trailers, and she says, "We'll take the next chance and the next." And the next, until we are victorious, or there are no more chances left. And when you think about, especially with real life in the world right now, if all you got to do is open up the newspaper, what's going on in those countries, and the people, the real people, not fictional Star Wars people, but real people who are sick and dying, and in the middle of war, and the unemployment in America, there's still a recession. The rest of the world, all these things going on, and what makes you continue to go on? What makes you, what is it that, why? And that Jyn Erso quote, "We'll take the next chance and the next until we are victorious, or there are no more chances left." And I think that's the heart of the movie. So I got to go see I got to stop now. I'm going to get weepy again. So I got to go see it again. I hope hopefully you've seen this movie already. Now that you're listening to me, and hopefully you also feel the magic that I got. It's a war movie, but it's so much more than that. It's a Star Wars movie, but it's so much more than that. It's an action movie, but it's so much more than that. Now, Star Wars has just taken the next big step in Star Warsdom, and this movie is it. I mean, you can tell how excited I am. Hopefully this recording is working, because I'm doing this blind. So until next time, again, hey, if you like what I'm doing, please support Making Biscuits Cat Rescue, makingbiscuits.org. Send them a donation. Just like there on Facebook. But makingbiscuits.org. I do all this to support them. So until next time, this is Gerardo San Diego at thedailynight.net. You can find me at thedailynight.net. Until next time, may the Force be with you. Thank you very much.